Hey everybody, it's the Ioniq guy. So a couple of years ago, I reached out to Toro, maker of lawn equipment, because I was really interested in testing out their electric snowblower. When I bought my house 10 years ago, I inherited a, I believe, 1972 Ariens snowblower. The thing is built like a tank, but I accidentally ran it out of oil once and blew the Tecumseh engine on it. So I ended up replacing it with a Harbor Freight Predator engine, and it's worked pretty well. Fast forward 2 years after I originally reached out to Toro, and they finally got back to me and said, hey, we want to send you our Toro PowerMax e26 26-inch snowblower. This is a 2-stage snowblower. It runs on 2 of their 60-volt Flex Force 7.5 amp hour batteries. Let's do a quick tour of the PowerMax e26. So, I mean, in comparison to my 1972 Ariens, this thing is just so upgraded. The other one, you gotta reach down and crank it to move the chute just side to side. This one, you get a super convenient, just little joystick. You can move the chute side to side, and then you can adjust the throw vertically, or if you want to shoot it more low, you can do that. This button right here, heated handles. I don't even have to wear gloves to operate this thing because these are going to stay nice and warm. It does have multiple gears forward and multiple gears in reverse. It's super easy to maneuver when it's just in neutral. I mean, you can just turn it, push it forward and backward. It's really not a problem. Here, a headlight so you can throw snow at night. Here is where your batteries will live. You can also put a third battery in this slot right here if you do need a little extra runtime. And then to get it running, all you do, turn this switch all the way to the right. You'll hear the motor start winding up, and then that means you're ready to go. Big knobby tires. Look at how deep these things are. I mean, that's got to be at least probably 3/4 of an inch. You can see here, hardened gears, solid steel shaft, no shear pins required. That's kind of interesting. But this is a 26-inch model. It's a little bit bigger than my old snowblower, but you can see down here it is a 2-stage. So you have the first stage in the front, which pulls the snow in, and then you have the second stage in the back, which is actually shooting it out the chute. Assembly here was super easy. I think it took me probably 25-30 minutes. It ships basically fully assembled. The only thing you really have to do is attach the chute and then the bar that goes from the chute to the joystick up there. And then you just have to attach this rod for changing your gear. Of course, if you guys are interested in purchasing this, I will have links down in the description below where you can look at purchasing one of these. Now that we're kind of in winter, I would imagine that there's not too many deals, but come springtime in the next few months, you might be able to snag these for a pretty good price. So we finally got a decent snowstorm here in Connecticut, and that means we're finally going to put the Toro PowerMax e26 HA through its paces with, I'd say, about 5 inches of snow maybe. We were supposed to get more, but seems like that's all she wrote. I've got 2 of Toro's 7.5 amp hour batteries in here. They're fully charged, they're nice and warm, they've been sitting in the house. I'm gonna clear the driveway here at my mother's house. I would say it can probably fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 cars, 10 if you really pushed it. We'll check the runtime. I'll start a timer once I get this thing going and check back soon. Right over the car. Awesome. so easy to maneuver this thing too. "13 minutes, 13 seconds. And let's see what the battery percentages still look like. Wow, so that one's still got half left. They should be about balanced. That one's also got about half of its battery left. That is very impressive. You can see it did a pretty good job of this driveway. I probably could have adjusted the skids a little bit better to get down a little closer to the asphalt, but it'll melt in no time. You can see I was able to get really close up to the cars with it. Here's my Ioniq 6. Just need to do a little touch up with the shovel, but pretty much got everything. And then up against the house, I gotta get that. But yeah, color me impressed. But yeah, the Toro PowerMax E26 HA. I'm giving it a thumbs up. So those are my initial impressions on the Toro PowerMax E26. Obviously, this isn't a long-term review. I've only used it a couple times. We really didn't get a lot of snow this winter. It's now about to be spring, but I wanted to make sure I got this video out because there's probably going to be some deals on these things from different retailers. It is so much easier to use than a gas snowblower, quieter, more maneuverable, lighter. The batteries charge relatively quickly too. It comes with 2 chargers. Those 2 chargers are 2 amps each, so the 7.5 amp hour battery should charge in about 2 hours and 45 minutes or so. So within 3 hours, you'll be back out snow blowing if they do die. These 7.5 amp hour batteries are more than enough for a smaller driveway. Obviously, if you have a big 20, 30, 40 car driveway, it's probably going to take a few charges to get the whole thing done. If you're going to get a foot and a half, 2 feet of snow, you're going to want to go out a few times throughout the storm to kind of stay ahead of it so that you don't have 2 feet of snow to try and blow all at once. Then it's just really not going to be a great situation. This snowblower is going to live at my mother's house. She is in her 60s. She's retired. She doesn't live with anybody else, so she's responsible for clearing her driveway, and she's super excited to have this now because it means that she doesn't need somebody to come over. For people who just don't want to have to deal with oil changes, going to get gas, I mean, this is just really the simplest solution you can have for clearing snow from your driveway. There's really not a whole lot that can go wrong with it. I mean, it's basically just one big brushless motor and a few batteries. A lot less can go wrong here than with a gas engine where you've got carburetors and you're going to want to put stabilizer in it, especially if you're going to have it sit for a while. And then with gasoline having a lot of ethanol in it, you risk getting the carburetor built up with gunk. So all in all, just like I do not miss dealing with these small engines. I cannot wait to get my lawnmower for my home moved over to being fully electric. I'll definitely let you guys know in the future how it's holding up, maybe in a year or two. And we just kind of see how it's doing. Now, is this machine going to be the best choice for somebody who lives in, say, Buffalo, New York, where you get lake effect snow for 4 months out of the year? I really don't know. I don't live there. I've never lived somewhere where it snows that regularly, but I'm sure those people are probably going to be happier with a gas snowblower, just because you don't have to worry about running out of charge. You can just add a little bit more gasoline and keep going. Obviously, gasoline engines have their own issues that you have to deal with, like oil changes and carburetors and filters and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a lot of hassle for people. Once you get older, you might not want to have to deal with that. So electric could really be the best way to go for you. So if you guys did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Check out my store at ioniqguy.com. Consider becoming a channel member for as little as 99 cents per month. For $3 per month, you can gain early access to all my videos, as well as a 5% discount to my store. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, everybody.